and on DSTV channel 279. We're all across the world on 3news.com. I am Alfred Ocansey. Tonight, persons close to the late former First Lady Nana Konadu-Agyeman-Rawlings share fond memories of her as Ghana condoles with the bereaved family. We'll speak to Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America, Ambassador Victor Smith, and founder of Salt and Light Ministries, Dr. Joyce Ayi, will be joining us tonight as the new Patriotic Party flag bearer race heats up by the day. 63 new Patriotic Party members of Parliament have declared their support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Does this affect the dynamics of the contest in any way? We'll speak to a political analyst. Stay with us. Another dramatic moment in court as lawyers for the embattled former Director General of the National Signals Bureau walk out of proceedings in protest of a decision of the court. We have the details for you. Stay with us on Ghana Tonight. We have this and more on the latest on the NIMOS operation in the Western North and Western regions. Stay with us. As always, you're an integral part of the conversation. Let's hear from you. The hashtag we use is Ghana Tonight on Facebook and on X. Let's get talking. Let's settle for Ghana Briefs.
Parliament was forced to adjourn sitting on Thursday following the death of former First Lady Nana Konadu-Agyeman-Rawlings, whose daughter is a current member of the House. The second Deputy Speaker, as well as the Deputy Majority Leader and other MPs, expressed shock and condolences. Here is what the Deputy Majority Leader, Kweku Ricketts-Hagan, had to say.
We are actually in shock and trying to absorb the news. We didn't know that our mom was actually not well. I mean, in fact, I think we've seen her recently in various functions, and she looked fit, as she's always been. What informed us closing from the chamber is to be able to have the opportunity to absorb the story in full and know what we have to do.
President John Dramani Mahama has affirmed his unwavering willingness to defend judicial independence at all material times. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony of 37 new High Court judges, the president cautioned against needless adjournments and delays in the adjudication of cases.
I urge members of the bar to honor their duty as officers of the court, to assist the bench, not frustrate it, to seek justice, not merely score victory. Let us end the culture of needless adjournments and delays. Let us embrace efficiency and digital transformation of our courts. For as the saying goes, when lawyers play with time, justice becomes a casualty.
Drama unfolded at the Accra High Court after aggrieved lawyers for the former National Signals Bureau Director, led by Samuel Atta-Ichia, staged a walkout in court today because the trial judge refused to grant their plea for adjournment. But even before that could take place, lead counsel Samuel Atta-Ichia sought leave from the court and departed with his entourage of lawyers. He expressed his disappointment at the development in court.
The case is just next took it to the Supreme Court. The judge is saying no, he will grant the adjournment, and that he is ready to continue the case. As to why the judge is in an ambulance to continue the case, I cannot wait for the Supreme Court for 1 week. It leaves matter to me decide, and I'm caught between the rock and the hard place. How? The ambivalence that you want to disqualify a judge from hearing the case, and you sitting to continue the case. I cannot answer in this record, so I need to leave the chamber.
Lead proponent of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill John Ntim Fojo, has called on the president to sign the document into law if his majority leader says the bill does not need a reintroduction. The Asin South legislator maintains that the bill must be taken again, but if the NDC insists it was passed by the last parliament, then the president must sign it into law.
If majority leader says the bill is there and President Mahama must assent to it, then he must just take it to him, and next week he must assent to it, case closed. So that, I think, if that is what he wants the direction to go, then it's good news. We have no discussion again. So President Mahama, your majority leader says, sign the bill, assent to it, and then return it to Parliament. And then we ratify it and it becomes law.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okujetu Ablakwa, has commissioned the Upper East Regional Passport Application Center in Bolgatanga. The commissioning forms part of efforts to decentralize access to Ghanaian passports across the country. The minister thanked the people of the region for their financial contributions towards the renovation of the facility into a passport application center.
Today, as we make history, we are sending a very clear statement that development must be inclusive. Development must not be centered only in certain areas of our country. What also excites us about today's ceremony is that it is a testament of teamwork. There is total community ownership.
Up next. This is Ghana Tonight. As well, there's more news on 3news.com. Also, remember that it's proudly brought to you by Flamingo Paint, Simply Superior, Success Spray and Call, Tum Tum Precom. And we're live on 3FM 92.7, also on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, and on DSTV channel 279. We're all across the world on 3news.com. And tonight, NIMO strikes again. Let's tell you this before we get into the moment of reflection and also mourning. And that's coming up next as the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, has intensified its nationwide operations, recording major successes in two coordinated missions carried out earlier today and then also yesterday. In the Western, North, and in the Ashanti regions, we're going to show you pictures of what we received from sources within the NIMOS moving into these areas where illegal mining is taking place. In the Western North region, the NIMOS task force intercepted a group of armed men operating deep within the Tano in the Mary Forest, and that's the Tano Anya Forest Reserve in the Awim district. This, what you're seeing there, is the Tano Anya Forest in the Awim district. Now, the team arrested several suspects, including a Chinese national believed to be their excavator operator. Now, a search of the area led to the seizure of 4 pump action guns, 22 cartridges, and 3 buckets containing a black substance suspected to be mining materials. Now, the arrest of the armed group marks a critical success in NIMOS's ongoing efforts to curb the growing presence of armed mining syndicates within the forest reserve. The focus is on these armed mining syndicates, and some of these, you see the generator and then also a plant that have all been destroyed, and the Chamfan and others. Later that day, the task force advanced its operations to the Boyne River Forest Reserve in the Enchi district. Now, in the related development as we're hearing, the NIMOS task force extended its campaign against illegal mining to the Ashanti region targeting hotspots in the Asante-Achim and Jaso districts. So this is what we know right now, and they're acting on credible intelligence. The task force first moved into the Soboy, Mponia area of Asante-Achim, where 6 excavators were discovered in various locations. 2 were unserviceable, while the remaining were immobilized. That's what you see there on the screen, and several items, including 1 heavy-duty water pumping machine, numerous hoses, empty fuel containers, and a wooden structure were set ablaze, while 1 generator was also seized. That is the latest from the 9-month task force operations in the Western North and the Ashanti regions. There's more of this on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. And coming up next year on Ghana Tonight, as Ghana mourns and condoles with the bereaved family, we speak to close associates of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. And there's been a lot that's been happening over the last at least 17 hours, and a number of people have been sending in and tributes pouring in, reflecting on the life, the impact, and the contribution of the late Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, while tributes continue to pour in for Ghana's longest-serving First Lady. In fact, the First Lady of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who died earlier today at the age of 76, will also engage close associates who have known her in both private and public life. So stay with us. But first, let's establish the mood in the house earlier this evening. But this is a period of mourning. What you're saying, what happened, night visuals of the frontage of the residence of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings at Rage here in Accra. It's a moment of solemn reflection and mourning. It's a very quiet street with cars seen going in and out of the residence, just to also reflect the mood and the happenings since morning when we got wind of this rather unfortunate news. And this is one that hits hard, especially for the family and also the nation at large. A towering figure of the late Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. And earlier, before we got there were quite a number of people who had marched up as well to commiserate with the family. And earlier, the family made an announcement officially of the passing of the former First Lady at a very brief press conference at the residence. Take a look.
His Excellency the President was subsequently informed accordingly, and Utufo Osetu de Segara Santini was also informed. His Excellency the President has caused an official statement to be made confirming Nana Konadu's death. At this stage, the family is obviously in mourning and we will crave your indulgence to give us some privacy. All further notices will be relayed by the government. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's the one of the elders of the family, all flanked by the children of the late Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings. That's the Member of Parliament for the Klote constituency, Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, Amina Rawlings, also Kimathi and Yasantua, all seated next to him, making that official announcement earlier today. Members of Parliament have also been sharing their fond memories of the late Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings earlier today with our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, Christian Yale. We'll hear from them, and we'll connect on Zoom right now with Ambassador Victor Emmanuel Smith, who worked closely with her. So stay with us. This is what members of Parliament had to say.
Mom was actually not well. I mean, in fact, I think we've seen her recently in various functions, and she looked fit, as she's always been. What informed us closing from the chamber is to be able to have the opportunity to absorb the story in full and know what we have to do and do some mobilization and see what will be the appropriate time for us to pay a visit.
Very shocking, very tragic, but it's part of life. Nobody expected. So we can only pray that the soul will get a restful place in the bosom of the Lord. And we also pray for strength for the children. It's something that should always tell us that this world, we are all passing. We are all passing. When you are not expecting, that's the time you'll be called by your maker. So we all have to prepare, because other than that, there's nothing that one can say.
There are some, like the Member of Parliament for Guan, Fred Agbenyon, who believe that she deserves a state burial.
She has played her role. When we talk about the Fourth Republic, I don't think that we can write the history of the Fourth Republic without the name of Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings, especially the National Democratic Congress and even the PNDC. We know the role that she played when it came to mobilization of women in particular, conscientizing women and getting them to get actively involved in our politics. I believe that she deserves a state burial. I believe that we need to give her a befitting burial that she rightfully deserves.
She has single-handedly contributed to the development and expansion of the frontiers of gender politics in this country as a first lady, but also as somebody who single-handedly became a flag bearer of political parties. So I think she has made that kind of exposure, breaking the barriers and the glass ceilings in our politics. So I think we'll celebrate her for leading the way.
It tells you that life is short. Today we are here, tomorrow we are not. So there's no need for hate, there's no need for struggles. You just have to love and then take it easy. Because for this year, I think we've lost lots of people from this parliament and young ones outside, even from the constituencies and national and all that. So I think we should all take life easy and then love each other, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring.
It is a profound loss. Members of Parliament say they would continue to condole with the family, especially one of their very own, the Member of Parliament for Kwale Klote, Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, whose mother has tragically passed on. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Parliament.
That's Christian Yale there, and that mood is reflective across the nation, and we've got quite a number of the tributes pouring in. Let's start off with Rebecca Akufo-Addo, the former First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, the immediate past First Lady of the Republic of Ghana. She posted on social media and also put out that official statement. My deepest condolences to the family and friends of former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyemang-Rawlings in these difficult times. May her soul rest in peace. And then also we had the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also put out a statement just a little over an hour ago. It says, my wife Rebecca and I are deeply saddened by the news of the untimely passing of the wife of the late first president of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, the longest-serving First Lady in our history and the founder of the 31st December Women's Movement, Her Excellency Mrs. Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings. As a role model for women in Ghana and across Africa, Mrs. Rawlings' gender advocacy and women empowerment initiatives remain impactful to this day. Her commitment to the growth of the women's movement in Ghana and Africa can never be forgotten. She was a warm and affectionate woman with a good sense of humor and was excellent company. Rebecca, my children, and I extend our deepest condolences to her children and family on this sad occasion. May her soul rest peacefully in the bosom of the Almighty until the last day of the resurrection when we meet again. And if you don't know, as you've followed quite closely over the last few years, the relationship between the late Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings and the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, is public knowledge. And it's one that they have both expressed in many ways. And so if he talks about the company that he enjoyed while with the late Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings, there's evidence to that effect. There was also a statement from the Majority Leader, Mahama Yariga, as well, who put out a statement earlier today, said the Majority Caucus in Parliament of Ghana has learned with shock the reported sudden death of Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings, former First Lady and wife of His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, and the mother of our dear Honorable Dr. Zaneto Agyemang Rawlings, MP for Klotekole constituency and chairperson of the Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliament. We are informed this sudden demise occurred this morning after a short illness. On behalf of the entire majority members of Parliament, the Right Honourable Speaker Bagbin, and the entire Parliament of Ghana, we wish to extend our deepest condolences to the family and the nation for this great loss. That's Mahama Yariga there is asking that her soul rest in perfect peace. She paid her dues to this country, and rightly so. And this is reflective and the sentiments of many who have been talking about her. The longest-serving First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, the First Lady of the Fourth Republic, and the first female presidential aspirant on the ticket of the National Democratic Party that she formed ahead of the 2016 election. So she's contributed a lot in many ways to the democratic development of our country, shaping it right from her association with the late Jerry Rawlings and the formation of the 31st December Women's Movement. We talked about it all throughout the day. And bear in mind, it was just 3 weeks to the 5-year commemoration of the passing of the late Jerry John Rawlings on November 12. Today, October 23, obviously not a good day for the family. But one person who worked with her quite closely, even beyond what we are reading, is Ambassador Victor Emmanuel Smith. Ghana's current ambassador to the United States of America, was a former High Commissioner to the UK between 2014 and 2017, a former ambassador to the Czech Republic, but for the purposes of this conversation was the special aide and head of public affairs for the late former President Jerry John Rawlings for a very long time. Ambassador Victor Smith is joining us from the United States. Good evening. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. This certainly it's a heavy night for you, heartbreaking one, is it not, with what we have faced with right now?
Certainly. I mean, I've known her since 1993. First, before I met her in 94, physically. And up until 2008, you would say she was my boss, but we were the best of friends. We worked together for the 31st December Women's Movement, as well as setting up the First Lady's office together. So I've known her at very close quarters. I've traveled so many places in the world with her. And she was like a big sister until maybe 2008 when, unfortunately, we parted company. working together.
Ambassador Alfred Ocansey, if you could kindly sit back a bit for me, I would appreciate that. What are some of the fond memories that you have of the late Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings beyond what we have been talking about since the announcement of her death earlier today?
I must say that not too long ago, myself and Zanetto sat down, and she admitted to me that, look, you were part of our family, and certain things went wrong, and she thinks I should make up with Mom. And I agreed with her in principle that I was going to go and see her and smoke a peace pipe, so to speak. Unfortunately, I never got around to doing it, and now she's gone. But it was well intended. She was a good person. I cut my teeth in politics through Mrs. Rawlings. Went from the UK after studying. Linked up with her because I used to send her pieces of information and ideas as to how this country should be run, our country, Ghana, should be run. And I thought it would help develop our country properly. We used to discuss those things, exchanging ideas until I returned from UK. And then, still working with her, writing speeches, and then sometimes touring places with her, with the 31st December Women's Movement. I used to work with State Enterprises Commission, and then one day she told the president she needed me to come and work for her, set up the First Lady's office. And then the president got me moved into his office and assigned to her. So from that moment, back in 94, December, up until 2008, we were that close. This morning, when I got the bad news, we all know that everybody will go eventually. We all pass, a time will come. I was traumatized in the sense that I thought, oh, how sad, especially where her husband has gone. And in a few days, we're going to look at 5 years of the husband's passing, and now she's gone. I thought about the girls in Kimathi. We got that close then. Maybe not as we have it now, but still I'm there for them if they want to be family and friends again. I'm already orphan, and then if they are also orphans, we can, we can work together to make life.
I say it's revealing to know this today, Ambassador, that she is the one who actually brought you into mainstream politics, not her husband, the late Jerry Rawlings, because you were more associated with him, at least, in your public working life than her. But getting to know now that she actually brought you into mainstream politics. Definitely. Nobody can take that credit. She was the one who literally held my hand into politics. I mean, I used to write ideas. I had ideas about how this country should develop. So I thought, why don't you offer the pieces of advice to her? If they take it, fine. They don't take it. This was before 92. It started before 92. We went into constitutional government, and then it continued. And I'm sure she hadn't seen me before, but I had seen her in photos until we met. And when we actually started working for her, setting up the First Lady's office, we were very close, very close friends. And the president used to try, oh, let's go to Akosombo, come on, let's go. And then the president would take me and her and one or two. I remember E.T. Mensah was one of the friends who used to come with us. We hung out together and we worked together until a misunderstanding led to the falling out 2008. But it's sad, when somebody dies, it's painful.
she'd gone out of mainstream politics. So it was only when she attended some funerals or some public events that we saw her. Otherwise, she was quiet, sitting in somewhere and minding her grandchildren, I believe. But then now, she's no more. I'm sad. I'm sad because politics is still going on. I wish I had had an opportunity to sit with her to look back in time and examine some of the things we did right or did wrong. It's not to be God decides for us.
Indeed. And Ambassador, I'll play it again if you could kindly sit back for us so we have a full view of you. I was just recounting her period as not just a first lady, but the first lady in this Fourth Republic. You would agree with many who would make the point quite strongly that she didn't just occupy the office. She brought a lot of impact and meaning to that office all throughout the period, even before 1992, is it not?
I give her credit for giving visibility to Ghanaian women in politics. That I want to give her. Nobody can take that credit from her. She went out to empower, get women empowered. Her presence in the mainstream politics then encouraged some other women who may not have even thought of ever talking politics to enter into mainstream politics. She encouraged them by, her boldness and to come out and make statements and go out there and encourage the rural women to come out, put your children in daycare schools and stuff like that, and go out there and look for money in terms of business or trading or some rural cottage industry of some sort to help your families. She was there. She sort of energized the women, not necessarily just politics, but to also to be able to not to be over dependent on their husbands. So the empowerment of women thing, nobody can take it away. And now we're even proud to say, now we have a vice president who is a woman. She gave visibility to the Ghanaian woman in mainstream politics, my opinion. So I think she should be given that credit. She did nothing at all, that much. Some people didn't like her because she was as if you're poking your nose into what should be a man's, if you like, space. But she didn't see it as such. She didn't come out to say that I'm running the country, but she offered pieces of advice, just like I was offering some to her husband, who was then the head of state. So many things have happened. She wasn't right all the time, but there's certain things that the credit should go to her. She was there for her husband and the husband's government. So, seriously speaking, we can't take away that credit from her. She did her bit. She couldn't have done it all. Today we have a vice president woman. Who knows? The time will come, we'll have a president woman. And I think she would, even though she's gone, she could take the credit for encouraging and motivating and empowering women to stand shoulder to shoulder with men in the political space.
Earlier, you did indicate that a few weeks ago you sat with Dr. Zanetto Rawlings, and she admonished that you go see the late Nana Konadu so you could mend and then also talk about your differences, mend this sore relationship that you've had in the past few years. Now, hearing this, that unfortunately you will not be able to do this, how did the news of her passing get to you?
Well, I don't know what led to her passing. I don't have the facts. So I don't want to even be hazarding guesses, but it's unfortunate that I was woken up at 4 a.m. with such sad news. 4 a.m. in where I am now. I am in Iowa with the vice president, and we're 5 hours behind Ghana. So 4 a.m. was 9 o'clock Ghana time. Was it not? It'll be 8 o'clock. No, 2 plus 6. No, 2 plus 4, 5. Yeah, 3. Yeah, I think it was 9 o'clock. And I didn't believe it at first. I thought one of those social media pranks. So I made a couple of phone calls. And I was told initially that it's not true. I sent a message to Zaneto. She didn't respond. And this other person who's also within the household said it's not true. And that if anything, they will let me know. So at that point, I knew that there could be some truth in it. But later on, I was talking about, oh, she was in a coma. And then the sad news was confirmed that she had passed. It's a shame. But she has contributed her quota. You can't take that away from her. It may not be enough in people's eyes, but she has done her bit. And everybody comes and they go. Even Rawlings has gone. So everybody contribute your quota to Ghana's development and progress. At least I can say that the energized Ghanaian women can draw from that particular woman's contribution to the positions that women find themselves in politics today. Because before that time, not many women entered politics. They used to talk about the Yasantua of old in Ashanti wars. But politics of Ghana today, she has contributed her quota. At least today we have a vice president who's a woman.
Indeed. And you talk about being with the vice president right now in the United States. Just maybe finally, before I let you go, just a few words of consolation to the family who you talk fondly of your relationship with all of them. Quickly, before we go.
Well, I issued a statement. I don't know whether you've seen it, a tribute. I will send it to you after this. The tribute made reference specifically to the children because they all passed through my hands. When I was setting up the First Lady Secretariat, we started with an office in the house. And Kimathi, Amina were little children at Morning Star School. Whenever they closed, they came to my office. They were all over. We were all friends. Zaneto would come back from school, Wesley girls, Yasantua, we were all like, it was family. So I've extended an arm of love and friendship to them. If coming together or being friends again and family, be there for each other, will not spoil anything. I'm ready to be there for them, for whatever their mother did for me as a politician.
And thank you for those so solemn words and words of reflection. We do appreciate the time you took to share with us. Thank you so much, Ambassador Victor Emmanuel Smith, Ghana's ambassador to the United States and the former special aide to the late Jerry Rawlings, close relationship with the late Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, getting to know today that indeed she was the one who brought you into mainstream politics. We also have joining us the founder of the Salt and Light Ministries, also having a close relationship in her early days as well in public service with the late Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. Dr. Joyce Ayi, thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. It's a heavy loss and a big blow to you personally as well, and to the nation. And we're dealing with this moment. And what are the fond memories that you have of the woman we're talking about today?
So actually, the news came as a shock, as a real shock to me, because I hadn't heard that she was unwell. I hadn't heard it at all. And so it was a real shock, you know. But when I think about her life, I realize that it has not been a wasted life. And for me, that is what I thank God for. I thank God opportunity. She really took great advantage of that opportunity at a great cost to herself. And she made sure that through 31st December Women's Movement, many women were empowered. I mean, she traveled the length and breadth of this country throughout all the districts, setting up the movement, helping people do palm oil, do gari, do other things that empowered them financially. And this was really good because those were difficult times. So if you had extra income, it really made a big difference to your home. And it wasn't just, financial empowerment. She also explained to them issues of governance, issues of citizenship, issues of women also engaging in politics, not partisan politics, because at that time there was no partisan politics, but being good citizens as women and really engaging and making sure that they were part of the decision-making process, So I give glory to God for her life. The first lady who was so engaged. We haven't had that before. And even though other first ladies have done a lot, but I think that she just gave it a new dimension. And I will mention also her courage. When she decided to form another party, which was more or less in competition with her husband, the party her husband belonged to, that must have taken a lot of courage. And I really am glad that it didn't break their relationship. It didn't break their relationship at all. So she was a woman of courage. I think that young people should recognize that when there's opportunity, we must take advantage of it. Opportunities don't come easily. When they do come, it's good to take advantage. And she really walked this earth and left footprints in the sands. Not all of us are able to do that, but she will not be forgotten. She cannot be forgotten. And I really give glory to God. My life, I send my condolences to the children. I'll try and reach out to them directly, but they really will miss her. She was their friend, their confidant, their caregiver, their nanny, because all of them will send their children to her and she will gladly take care of them, So we really give glory to God for her life.
Dr. Joyce Ayi, thank you so much, Dr. Joyce Ayi, for joining us this evening. Appreciate your time. Dr. Joyce Ayi, founding president of the Salt and Light Ministries. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. and may her soul continue to rest in perfect peace. There's more of this you can find on 3news.com. Coming up next, another day in court, another moment of drama in the ongoing trial of former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Eduboahing. Now, we'll tell you, because there was quite some drama earlier today unfolded at the Accra High Court after aggrieved lawyers for the former National Signals Bureau Director, led by Samuel Atachia, staged a walkout in court today because the trial judge refused to grant their plea for adjournment. Samuel Atachia expressed his disappointment at the development earlier today to the media. Take a look.
The case is just, let's took it to the Supreme Court. The judge is saying no, he won't grant us the adjournment, and that he is ready to continue the case. As to why the judge is in an ambulance to continue the case, I cannot wait for the Supreme Court for 1 week. It is mad to me, exact. And I'm caught between the rock and the hard place. How? The ambivalence that you want to disqualify a judge from hearing the case, and you sitting to continue the case. I cannot answer in this record, so I need to leave the chamber.
It's a very interesting development. Dennis Pereira Wadam Esquire is an officer of the court, and you don't see much of this kind of drama, is it? That, you know,
not really. I've personally not witnessed something of this sort before, so it's quite strange to see a lawyer in the middle of proceedings seek leave and walk away simply because they disagree with the court. So this is quite strange for me personally. I haven't seen one play out in court before. But what is the context? The context is that the Leonard Atachia had a pending application before the Supreme Court. And that application was in respect of matters in the ongoing trial.
Right.
So recall the last adjourned date, prosecution put in the box their second witness.
Yes.
What that meant was that they were to lead evidence. And it's at that stage that defense can raise objections to the tendering of certain evidence. So it was the contention of defense that certain documents that prosecution were going to tender in evidence were prejudicial, and to some extent they will compromise national security. That was opposed. So it was an argument for which the court had to decide. The court decided in favor of prosecution, that is to say, to allow the said documents be tendered in evidence. Now they filed an application at the Supreme Court to prohibit the judge from hearing the case further, raising issues of bias. Now, having filed that application, they come before the High Court judge again to say that, look, we have a pending application at the Supreme Court, and as such, kindly grant us an adjournment so that the Supreme Court will deal with that application, because it will have implications on whatever we're going to do here.
Right.
Then that was also opposed by prosecution, because prosecution's position was that the mere filing of an application does not operate as a stay of proceedings, or it does not automatically make the court to adjourn the matter.
Right.
So they were minded to proceed with the case. But defense was not pleased with the position, with that. I mean, eventually the court had to make a determination as to whether to adjourn the proceedings or even to stay the proceedings.
Indeed.
The court took the view that the proceedings must continue.
Right.
What it meant is that the defense argument had fallen flat, so they had to proceed. And that was when defense did not agree with that position taken, to mean that they have an application pending and that their pleasure would have been that the court would allow them to proceed with the matter.
Right.
It was in the midst of that that the Atachia, together with the lawyers who came, sought leave of the courts in the midst of the circumstances. So the accused person was asked to call his lawyer to come, because, I mean, he was there for the accused person. According to him, he made attempts to reach to his lawyer, but by the time he got the lawyer was already gone. But that was an interview that he granted to the press to express his frustration or the situation that he found himself, for which he acted the way he did. So, I mean, basically, that was what happened in court. And this will be the third time we are seeing some sort of drama in there. First time being his own client openly disengaging his services in open court.
Yes.
The next time that client switched rules That's mean moved from an accused person to being a prosecution witness. And today we are now seeing that in the middle of proceedings, the lawyers walk out of the courtroom. That's just by way of update of what is going on in this particular trial involving the former Director General of the National Signals Bureau.
It's one that we'll keep an eye on. Dennis, appreciate you for this. This is Ghana Tonight. We're back shortly after this quick break. There's more before we go. Stay with us.
Why are more and more professionals choosing Flamingo paint?
As an interior decorator, I aim for that beautiful, elegant look. Flamingo paint has great hiding ability to cover and transform old walls easily with just one coat.
Impressive. For me, as a professional painter, I love Flamingo paint because it gives small paints that paint huge area, meaning more profit for me. Great value for money.
As an architect, Flamingo paint, with its well-researched and solid composition, guarantees durability for all my buildings.
Flamingo paint, superior hiding, superior coverage, superior durability. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Kel Charcoal toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, Nesasu Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum Mr. Freddy Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Freddy once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me didn't sasso stay. Mr. Freddy sasso quell. Yeah, go to my
Welcome back. This is Ghana Tonight. 63 out of the 87 members of Parliament on the Minority Caucus have declared open support for the new Patriotic Party's 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is hoping to lead the party into the 2028 elections. According to them, Dr. Bawumia deserves a second chance and has proven to be the potent leader the party deserves. Let's hear from Kweku Amprechum Sapong, the MPP MP for Mampong. He addressed the press conference on behalf of the 63. Take a look.
This engagement is to put it in the public domain. The minority members of parliament who are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's project to become the flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party for the 31st January 2026 flag bearership election. With me here are some members of the team of MPs that are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It's not everybody who is here. Others are engaged in committee meetings. Others have traveled. But the leadership of Bawumia's team in all the regions are here with me. Dr. Bawumia is a leader who respects our history, yet reimagines our future. He has walked with the new Patriotic Party through every season of victory and challenge, serving faithfully, defending our record, and carrying our message with conviction and grace. He has been tested, trusted, and proven. Today, over 60 members of parliament, in fact, it's 63 precisely, out of the 87 minority members in parliament, stand together in unity and conviction to make this clarion call. We declare our total and unwavering support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the next flag bearer of our great party. We make this declaration not out of sentiment, but from deep conviction. We have seen his work, his discipline, his resilience, and his readiness to serve. We believe that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia embodies the next chapter of the MPP's vision, a future built on competence, innovation, unity, and hope. We affirm that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not just the candidate who can unite our party. He is the leader who can win the confidence of Ghanaian people and secure victory for the MPP in 2028 and beyond.
So it was flanked by Samia Wuko, Mustafa Yusuf, you see Hassan Tampole there as well, Kwabena Ochida Komensa, the Takrade Member of Parliament, all in there. Well, there's more of this on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. On behalf of the rest of the team, we do appreciate your company, staying with us here on Ghana Tonight. I am Alfred Ocansey. Have a good night.
Ghana Tonight is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint, superior durability.